Mm. Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? Derek here. You know, I've been considering changing my YouTube channel name because it's Derek for real right now. It's not my real name. I don't know if anybody got that, but I get that from the movie Blow. Uh, anyways, I'll get into that later. But welcome back. If you are a current subscriber and have tapped into the content before, if you've tapped into the content before but aren't a subscriber, go ahead hit that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Derek, covering everything wholesaling real estate on this channel, specifically virtually wholesaling real estate, as that's what I'm doing. Currently living in California, sourcing opportunity out in Houston, Texas. Um, well, I should change that too. Maybe just Texas, because I'll get into that in a minute. But if you are out in Texas, specifically Houston, is that's where a majority of my marketing efforts are kind of channeled into. Love to network, love to connect with you. Feel free to reach out. Links in the description for both my Instagram and the Discord group that we have. Would love to connect with you on either one of those so that we can see if we can make something shake on any future deals. Again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Do me a favor before you leave, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell if you take anything away from the content. Covering everything again, wholesaling real estate on this channel. Typically go live Monday through Friday, once a day, sometimes Saturday. I've actually been falling back on Wednesdays as well. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, sometimes Saturday. Uh, Hop on anytime I make my cold calls, when I hop on the dialer, when I go through my follow up tasks, my lead follow ups, and I try my best to also kind of drop little bits of content here and there to give you a full picture and full understanding of my entire virtual process, specifically my virtual driving for dollars process, since that's how I'm uh, building a lot of my lists. And I do that on Google Maps. I have a little mini series on my YouTube channel. I got to update it. It's changed a little bit since then, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same process. You can go check that out, see how I build my driving for dollars list virtually on Google Maps. But this video, I wanted to hop on and recap a little bit and possibly give this seller a call. But the seller for the deal, if you've been kind of tapping into the content, I have a seller lead out near Austin, and he just signed the contract. So we got one more contract added to the books. I'm gonna go ahead and update my little board here, move the lead over to the agreements section. God, I get a little dusty. Haven't used this in a while, but anyways, got that contract signed, so I'm pretty happy about that. Unfamiliar with the area, just a little recap. This seller I had initially texted. Uh, this is a very savvy investor. Well, I don't know if you want to say savvy is the right word, but he's an investor, by all means. He has 30 properties. Uh, 28 or 29 of them are actually in Houston, which is how I connected with him in the first place. I had texted him about one of his properties and he said, "Oh, no, that one's not for sale, but I do have one out here near Austin." The reason that he wanted to sell was because he's getting older. I think he said he's nearing like 70 years of age. And he just doesn't really do his own maintenance anymore. Well, he does do his own maintenance, but he's not wanting to do his own maintenance anymore. He has a trusted maintenance guy who he will contract to do all of the work for all of his properties out in Houston, but he didn't have that for this property out near Austin. So anytime anything goes wrong with one of his properties in Houston, he knows he can give his guy a call. He'll swing by, because the seller lives in Austin himself. So he's not driving to. Well, he is. Granted, he does go out to Houston often to work, it sounds like, but he doesn't want to have to go out there to do the maintenance. So he has a trusted guy out there. He'll give him a call. He'll swing by, do the repairs. He'll pay the guy. He doesn't have that for this property out near Austin. He was relying on the tenant himself because the tenant was a really is a handyman. So he's very independent. He takes care of all the repairs himself if anything ever pops up. What's up, Jared? Hopping on here. I don't know if you just got in here, but that lead out near Austin just signed the contract. So got that one locked up. Just kind of recapping a little bit as to why, his motivation. That's why he wanted to sell. He didn't want to, he's getting older. He doesn't want to have to rely on the tenant to do the repairs. And he knows the more time passes, the more repairs are going to be needed, and you know, again, he's not wanting to have to deal with it. So that was his kind of motivation there. We came to an agreement on price. Price is like really up in the air. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is either gonna be a home run, like grand slam for me, at least in terms of my assignments that I've been taking down, or it's gonna be just like a little base hit. The numbers are really interesting to me out here. I can't really. What I think is going on is it's a historic neighborhood, which I do think um, adds restrictions to how you're able to rehab the place, um, how you plan on disposing it. So I went straight to my buyer on my last one because I know he buys all over Texas. uh, Me and him have been going back and forth about this other one, this other gentleman who has that 6 property portfolio. So we've kind of been in communication, and he knows that I was working this lead out near Austin as well. So right when I got the contract, just shot him a quick text. Hey, just lock this one up out near Austin. Would you be interested, or would you happen to know anybody out that way? And he says I have a bunch of buyers out near there. So I'm gonna shoot him the details on it right now through email, and see if we can just get it done quickly. I'm going to let him know what the situation is with the tenant, what's going on, and what the seller was really concerned about, which is kind of the biggest hurdle that I had to overcome here, was the fact that he doesn't want. He just got burned by another investor right before I made contact with him initially. So when we were talking, and the conversation was kind of revolving around, yeah, I just got burned, so I'm going to need a lot of assurances in place to feel comfortable moving forward. And one of those things was, yeah, we'd like to get the property delivered vacant, right? And he's at that understanding because he knows it's going to be a flip project for the end buyer. But what he didn't want to do was serve his tenant a 30-day notice without some type of confirmation. So my work around that was, okay, well, why don't we do this? I'll put up the earnest money, right? You can um, wait until we do our 14-day inspection period, right? Don't issue your tenant a 30-day notice until after our inspection period, because I don't want you to issue the tenant a notice to vacate and then us go in there on like day 10 for the inspection. This is how I'm kind of posing it to him. I don't want to go in there on day 10 of the inspection just to realize that the roof's caving in, the foundation's all busted, and it's going to cost way more than we thought. And now your tenant's already packed up their belongings. They've already put a down payment down and all this. So, wait until that 14-day is done, that inspection period is done, and then you can serve your tenant a 30-day notice. So 44, 45 days, in total, from the day the contract signed. I think we went out a little bit further than that, and well, I don't know because so much time has passed. So I have a tentative closing date now. Oops. Uh, so a tentative closing date on the 28th of February. So it's a shorter month of February. So 28, 29, 30, 14, 44. It's almost like exactly 45 days. 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 on top of 28. What is that? 40, 46 days. So it's pretty perfect. Glad he signed it today because I would have had to rewrite the thing, all that other stuff. But how much earnest did you put? 995. So he was requesting 1% of the purchase price, which would have been 2,000. I had proposed that I don't even remember what I said, but I regret not asking for way less than 995. But that's what he's collecting in rent monthly from the tenant. So that's what I proposed. I said, how about we do 1 month of your rent, which is 995? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine with that. So if you've been tapping in, Jared, you've been definitely tapping in with this type of with this lead here, and you'll know how much he had his guard up and how much he was requesting this, that, and this, and he was requesting proof of funds, which ended up not even being an issue. He signed it without seeing a proof of funds. Um, you know, I have a proof of funds. I went out of my way to get one, but and that's serves as another reminder and kind of a learning lesson to stick to your process. Do what you think. You know, in the past, I would have kind of tried to object to the earn or the proof of funds, or like figured out why he wanted it. But the fact that I was like, yeah, yeah, no problem. That's all he really wanted to hear, right? Because, and I think this is a good learning lesson. If somebody, a lot of times these sellers make objections that aren't real objections. It's a matter of making them comfortable and being confident. Exactly. It's like a lot of things. I'm trying to think of something else. Like, oh, let me have my lawyer look at the contract before I sign it. They're almost just kind of fishing. They're expecting you to say, "Oh, well, why do you want a lawyer to read it?" And then they know it's like, okay, this guy isn't for real, right? But if you're just like, yeah, by all means, I would do the same thing. While I have you, is there anything that you'd like a little bit of clarification on, just so that there's no miscommunication when you go bring it to your lawyer? And they're like, no, no, I just want them to check it out. Okay, yeah, let me know when you do. And when can I expect to hear back from you? Set a little bit of urgency. And yeah, in this case, he was like, yeah, I would need to see a proof of funds. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, no problem, right? And then it didn't even end up being an issue. He just, I think, wanted to hear that from me, like, yeah, yeah, no issue. Whereas if I was like had kind of a scarcity mindset, and he was like, let me see a proof of funds, and I was like, oh, proof of funds, yeah, let me try to get that for you. He's like, oh, never mind. Um, so again, going to move this lead. This is the first time I've actually done this on this whiteboard. Um, for my first two deals, I didn't use this whiteboard, but now I can move this over to the agreements side. Um, put the address down here. And then I'm also going to make a little, section assigned dispo. So that gives me something to look forward to. But yeah, essentially that's the recap of that. It was fairly straightforward. Again, I reached out to him about one of his properties in Houston. He said, I don't want to sell that one, but I do want to sell this one. I said, how much do you want? He says 200,000 is the contract price. Um, and then there was some hurdles that I had to overcome, like the earnest money, the tenant situation. That's the biggest thing here. Is he's very delicate about the tenant. The tenant has been there for about 11 years. He's a trusted tenant, pays on time, in full, every month, handles all the maintenance. So he didn't want to just kick them out before he knew that somebody was actually buying it. So what I'm going to do is give him a call real quick, because I wasn't on the phone with him when he signed it. I sent it over to him. He was out in Houston actually these past few days, and he was heading back to Austin, and he was like, that's why I was comfortable. I know, Jared, you were on here when you were saying, like, let him know that your offer expires, which I think is very, very good to do, right? You don't just want like these offers pending out there and then somebody to agree to it, weeks later. But the way he was talking, he was like, I'm in Houston. Are you gonna send it through DocuSign? Like, I can have my wife pull it up at home because I forgot to bring my iPad, and she can sign on behalf of both of us. So he was saying things like that, and I was like, all right, it's good. Like, let me just send it over to him, let him take a look. I knew he was gonna be back in town last night, so if I hadn't received it by like midday today, I was going to give him a call. But he just signed it about an hour ago. Had the email come through that's showed me that he viewed it at 10 a.m. exactly. And then I was like, all right, let me give him, a couple hours after that. Because just because he viewed it, he could be on his phone at the grocery store viewing it. Doesn't mean he's going to sign it right then and there. So I was like, give him a few hours. And then 15 minutes later, it came through. Both of them signed it, him and his wife. And so I got the full shebang. Peter, what's going on, bro? Nothing but facts here. It's all process. Thanks for sharing your wisdom. Hey, appreciate you hopping in here. Best of luck to you. Let me know, Peter. Peter is expecting um, a decision on an acting audition. So everybody drop a like and wish him some luck. True, you can kind of know when that they're serious or when they're kind of not. Yeah, exactly. This guy was for real. The way we were going back and forth. So I just want to kind of take note of everything that I want to talk to him about. I'm going to go through the contract here and just kind of thought that was him. Want to kind of go through the contract so that I know what I want to cover, like the talking points. Just so what I'm gonna try to do here is just kind of future pace it, give it all you got to get it moved. Yeah, for sure. I know exactly. That's why That's why I'm not playing around with it. I'm just gonna go straight to my last buyer. This is one where I've been getting a little nervous about it. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm unfamiliar with the area. When I first looked at it, it looked like a home run. right? I'm seeing properties sell for 400, around 400, where I initially calculated ARV at like 390, 385. But the more I kept looking at it, the more I found other comps that were, and I emphasized the fact that they were comparable properties. Um, and they were selling for like 330, way less. And then I'm seeing some properties that are just being put up on the market as is condition, investor special, as they worded in the listings, and those are selling for a little over 200. So, the more the days have gone by, I've been getting a little bit more nervous that this is no longer a home run, but I think that it's a deal regardless. It's just whether or not it's going to be a home run or a base hit. So, that's why I'm not going to mess around. My last buyer says he has plenty of buyers out there near Austin, so I'm going to shoot him an email in a second here after I give the seller a call. But again, I kind of want to just future pace for the seller so that we're all on the same page. I've kind of been doing this the whole time I've been talking to him, so that you know that was something that I think I learned early on, um, with Peter. We were locking these things up, but not necessarily setting future expectations, so that when something came up, we were kind of chasing our tail and coming from behind, right? And playing from behind, where like it would catch them off guard, and then we would have to kind of like dispel their concerns. Like, oh no, 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 this is what's gonna happen. But now that I've gone through the process, I know what needs to happen. That way I can let him know up front. This is what, we've kind of already gone over it, but now I just want to confirm it with him now that the contract is in place, and really set his expectations. So I'm going to let him know that, get it. I'm going to get it. We'll get it submitted to title. Um, uh, 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 Provide um, them with sellers info to reach out. I'm going to let him know it'll likely be early next week. Like, that's the type of stuff, right? That's the type of stuff that I really want to like pinpoint, like, because if I say, yeah, I'm going to get it submitted to, and this is something that I feel like I would have done in the past, I'm going to get it submitted to title, and I'm going to provide them with your information, and you can expect to hear from them, right? But I might say that, and they might think that they're gonna get a call today, right? But if I get ahead of it and I let him know, it's probably gonna be, probably like Tuesday, Wednesday, early next week, right? That they're gonna reach out to you once we can get escrow opened and everything established. Then they're gonna reach out. Again, her name is Martha. She's the escrow officer. She's likely going to be the one to reach out, either via email or by phone. Uh, Um, how much work did it need in repairs? I think that it needs probably like 50 max. Max. I'll show you some pictures, bro. Jared, your sister's friend ended up going out. I don't know if you even knew that. Your sister's friend ended up going out and taking some pictures for me the other day. So I'll try to show you guys the pictures of the exterior that she was able to get me. Um, Specifically the AC, which is what he was like. That was what I was a little bit skeptical about. It was like the last thing. I don't know why I never asked him about it, but I was like, does a place have central AC? Because in the interior pictures that you're showing me, it shows that they have window units in there. And he's like, no, it has central AC. Like, I think I might have replaced it within the last 5 years. And it does look pretty good. I had to get like pretty up close and personal to see if there's any type of rust going on. Just a couple of leaves on top, but it looks like it's in really good shape. Uh, so that's the AC, condenser unit outside, and the exterior. Exterior in general looks good. I mean, nothing crazy going on the exterior. I had asked that she, seeing this is like the side. It looks kind of bad, but I think just like a quick power wash will spruce that right up. Um, I asked that she try to get a little up close and personal with any damage that she may see to the exterior, and this is like all she really found was right there at the base, the corner of the exterior. Um, show you the and I'll show you the interior pictures that he sent me before we even move forward. And that was something else that I want to talk to him about, but um, just kind of like original, you know, but no crazy damage by any means. A lot of these are duplicate pictures. But I mean, yeah, it kind of needs everything except for the big ticket items, right? So like the kitchen needs to be updated. Flooring, paint, bathrooms. It's just nothing crazy really. So I don't even know 50,000. Let's see. I don't forget how big the place is. I think it's just over 1,500 square feet. So it's not like a huge place either. Um, 1568 square feet. So it has a newer roof, if I remember correctly. Um, Let me pull up my text conversation with him. Um, Roof is 8 years old. Um, AC is like less than 5 years old. No foundation issues to his knowledge. He says plumbing, electrical is good. Mm, no electrical, plumbing, or foundation issues. So it's just kind of like the carpet paint, kitchen, baths, landscaping if you wanted to, you know? So I may even be closer to like 30, to be honest, just basic updating. Yeah, exactly. So it may even be closer to like 30. So again, if you could get some, like if you really wanted to, okay, and this is how I look at it too, kind of how I was looking at that other one yesterday, Jared. If you really wanted to like go crazy with it, you may want to spend 50 in order to get upwards of 400, right? And if you could get 400, um, want 40,000 in profit, put 50 in repairs, then I'm looking at like a $78,000 spread. Um, so that's what I'm hoping for. But again, even if it is like 330 that it's going to sell for on the back end, um, I want 10% profit. And let's just say it's still going to require 50,000 in work, which I don't think it will. If it's going to sell for 330, then there's still a $20,000 spread on it. So as long as it's going to be going for something up north of 300, I think it's still really good. Really, really, I'm in a really good position. So title is what I want to discuss, and then I want to future pace the inspection. I'm gonna let him know, that we have all the pictures. Okay, this is what I was gonna say though. The pictures that he sent me, he's been stressing that this place is a 4 bedroom, 2 bath. He's been saying that, but I don't see it listed as a 4-2 anywhere. And with what he sent me, um, with what he sent me, the pictures, he duplicated the pictures. So he was kind of sending captions as he sent in the pictures. I just noticed this last night too, which really bothered me. But he was like, so he would send like 2 to 3 pictures at a time, and then he would send a text like kitchen, hallway, first bathroom, and then he'd send a couple more texts, and then send another caption to let me know what these pictures are. And then towards the end, it was like third bedroom, second bathroom, and then towards the end, um, hallway, fourth bedroom, and I kind of just took it on his face as I'm scrolling. All right, perfect. But then I realized I knew that they were duplicate. A lot of these pictures were duplicates, but I didn't think anything of it. And then I went and I really studied them, and I was like, wait a second. he duplicated two of the bedrooms. So he'd be like living room and fourth bedroom. So this is bedroom number one. And then he says master bedroom and master bath. So this is the master bed and with the trophies on top, right? And then he gets a different angle, kitchen, dining, and master bedroom, right? So this is just another angle of the master bedroom. He doesn't try to dupe me right here. Kitchen, two pictures of the kitchen, second bathroom, and then this is where it gets tricky. Second bedroom and second bath. So this is the second bedroom with those two little pictures on the wall. And then he goes, a couple texts later, hallway and third bedroom. Same picture. Same picture. So contract signed, yes sir, Jarvis. Contract just came through. So I don't know if I'm gonna bring that up right now. I'm going to I'm going to just go ahead and the sellers who took the pics, yeah, Ian, that's correct. He had sent me the pictures of the interior. I just had somebody walk the exterior the other day to take pictures of the exterior. And adamant about the fact that it's a four-bedroom place, but I just studied the pictures last night and realized that or I kind of always knew that they were duplicates, but then I was like, okay, since I got those exterior pictures, I was like, all right, if he signs the contract, I'm gonna immediately set up like a property profile so I can start marketing it to buyers. So I was like, all right, let me start pulling these pictures and saving these pictures. And then I realized I was like, wait a second, he duplicated the second and third bedroom. So I'm gonna just go ahead and assume that it was a mistake on his end. And when I have somebody walk the property, it's just gonna be it's gonna be a pretty easy renegotiation there. Um, you told me that these are four bedrooms, and then I'm looking at I had somebody walk the property and there's only three bedrooms. What's going on, right? It's cool. Just tell us after you close, brother. Yeah, absolutely. I don't exactly, Jarvis. That's where my eyes are set right now. So, inspection, we have all the pictures. I want to just kind of set the expectation that you know we're going to send these pictures to some contractors in the area. I kind of want to let them know, right? This is going to be a project because we typically buy out in Houston, but um, we have some people out near Austin that we're going to recruit and try to add to the team here. So we're going to be able to provide these pictures to some people, but others, in order to just do our due diligence, we will, like we've been talking about, have to have some people walk the property, position it. Like let's just the expectation that it'll be maybe like early, like not next week, but early 2 weeks from now, which will be like day 12 to 14 of the inspection period. That way, what I'm gonna tell him is that way we have time to contact everybody that we need to contact. It's far enough out where people's schedule isn't going to be crazy booked up. That way, we can get everybody out at the property at the same exact time, so that we're not constantly going in and out. Maybe reconfirm it to 4-2, and when inspection comes up, and if it's a 3-2, you have the leverage to renegotiate. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. He's multiple times has said four bedrooms, four bedrooms, four bedrooms. So I almost am not gonna want to. I almost don't want to say anything until I have somebody walk the inside because nobody's been inside yet. And then once somebody's inside and can confirm that for me, then I can just, like you're saying, very easily go right back to him and say, I thought this place was a four bedroom, and then now that I realize it, I went back to the pictures, and you sent me two of the same pictures and said that they were two different bedrooms. So yeah, it's just going to be a real easy renegotiation when that does come up. If that's the case, again, I don't want to just assume that he's lying. I'm going to lean on the side of it being a mistake uh, for now until somebody can get in there. We have all the pictures. I'm going to say we'll send these to. I'm going to say like day, maybe a little sooner than that because it's Friday right now. Maybe like Sunday the 23rd, which is like day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like day 10, day 9 or day 10, however you want to look at it. Um, and then let him know, and then after that, I'll be able to give you the official, thumbs up, so that he can serve his 10 and a 30-day notice. Um, and then I want to say, and then after that, uh, um, and then then if the tenant seems like they may need some help, you know, finding a new place, I can put them in contact with some realtors or whatever. Trying to think if that's everything. I want to just pull up the agreement here to give it a one over so that I know that everything has been covered. Something that I put in here that's and something else, I use the official TREC, the Texas Real Estate Commission contract, for the first time, and I did that because I knew he was going to want to see that, because again, he's done a number of real estate transactions in Texas. He owns 30 properties himself, so he was very familiar with it, which was good because with this contract as well, it's a lot of legal jargon in there, very wordy, 11 pages. Um, and he knew that, right? So I educated myself on the contract before sending it over, took some time filling it out. And then when I connected with him, made sure that I kind of future paced it like I've been talking about. And, just so I kind of, let him know, like, I know, kind of like gave him the power and authority. Like, I know you're familiar with this. Like, you've done a number of deals. Um, just wanted to kind of throw that out there. There's a lot of legal jargon in there. And I know some people who aren't familiar with it can get intimidated. And he was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I know." So that was perfect. Um, Something that I slipped in here though into the objections, that I think was good on my end is: buyer may object in writing to defects, exceptions, or encumbrances to title disclosed on the survey other than the items yada 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 disclosed in the commitment, or which prohibit the following use or activity. So if and when the end buyer does want to request a survey at their expense, for some type of reason, like, oh, we want to make an addition to the back of the house, right? A survey is going to be required to determine the property lines and certain clearances, right? Like, depending on the county or whatever. So they may want to order a, a survey. And if the survey comes back and prevents them from doing what they want to do in order to buy the place and get top dollar for it, then I kind of slipped that in there, which prohibit the following use or activity. And I said ability to rehab slash renovate the property for purpose of resale. So it's kind of general, all encompassing. Like, if we get the survey back and it ends up looking like we're not going to be able to do what we want to do to the property in order to fix it up and resell it, then we're going to go ahead and object and uh, back out of the deal. Not like that's our intention, but um, and that's nothing that I want to talk to him about right now. He saw it, he signed it, um, buying the property as is upon closing and funding. So these are the special provisions, kind of the free form language that I typed in there. Buyer to pay all closing costs, not including any unpaid taxes, liens, judgments, etc. Buyer has the option to order a survey upon buyer's request. If title work is not complete by closing date, closing shall happen within a 60-day period once title work is complete, saying essentially that if the buyer and the seller are both kind of just waiting for the title work to clear, and everybody's on board, like, yeah, we got the money, like, we're trying to pay you, but there's this something that's clouding the title, then what that provision right there is essentially saying is, if it's not the fault of either the buyer or the seller and it's just simply everybody's waiting for title, and then the closing date passes, we're going to go ahead and push the closing date out another 60 days just so that we can try to clear the title and then complete the transaction. After the inspection period, seller to issue the tenant a 30-day notice to vacate, and the property shall be delivered vacant at the time of closing. So that's that. I think that that is everything that I want to talk with him about, which is, letting him know that I received it, letting him know that I'm going to send it over to title. Um, just wanted to confirm that it's all right with you that I provide them with your contact information so that they can reach out. They'll likely be in contact either via email or phone early next week, I would imagine, since today's Friday. And um, it'll likely be Martha. She's this senior escrow officer over there. If it's not Martha, it may be Sierra or somebody else working underneath her. And these are real names, real people that I've dealt with. So this is not just me kind of throwing that out there. Um, yeah, and so I just kind of wanted to confirm and everything we've been talking about. So with the inspection, we have all the pictures that we really need. It being a property out near Austin, typically we buy it in Houston. So we will kind of have to recruit some new people to the team here in order to do what we want to do to the property. So we're going to get on the ball with that and try to reach out to the people with the pictures that we do have. But we do still need to do kind of just a final check, final due diligence walkthrough with everybody that needs to come on site in order to give us bids and stuff like that. Um, and I'd like to kind of do that towards the end of the inspection period. That way, I have enough time to recruit everybody. It's far enough out so that people's schedule isn't jam packed. That way, everybody can kind of walk the property all at the same time. Shouldn't take any longer than an hour. That way, we're just not going in and out and continuing to disturb the tenants. Then, that'll kind of be a couple days before the end of the inspection period, and once we get those bids back in, then we can give you the green light, give you the thumbs up, let you know that everything is good to go on our end. And then at that point, you can serve your 10 to 30-day notice and let them know, if they have any issues with finding a new place or they're going to, struggle with the transition, that I can definitely reach out. And that's something that I'd like to do anyways, just kind of get in contact with them. Um, be there for them if they do need help and kind of let them know that I'm not just, the big bad investor who's coming around and kicking them out, but rather somebody who is willing to help them with their transition. So that's kind of what I'm going to talk with him right there. I'm going to go use the restroom. Give me 1 minute and I'm going to give him a call. Okay. That's fine. I'm getting ready to hop on the phone. That's fine. Mine. One of the special provisions I'd imagine you're talking about, Jared. About the survey, I'd imagine you're talking about. All right, let me give him a quick call.
Hello.
Hey, Morris, how's it going?
Good, good.
Good. Just wanted to give you a call, let you know that I received the contract on my end, so I appreciate you getting that done.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I had to wait till I got home because my wife really didn't know how to do the electronic signatures.
Right. Yeah, no worries. How was Houston?
Oh, it was good.
Good.
Yeah.
You checking up on your properties or?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I still participate in them a little bit.
Right.
So anyway, I was just and I just finishing up and getting ready to rent it. So.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, perfect. So just wanted to kind of let you know what I plan to do, kind of next steps on my end. So now that I have this, gonna go ahead and get it submitted over to title. And just wanted to kind of get confirmation and make sure that it was all right with you that I provide them with your contact information so that they can reach out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So I'll get that over to them. In all likelihood, they'll probably reach out probably early next week since it's Friday. It'll either be Martha, she's the senior escrow officer over there, or either somebody who works underneath her, possibly Sierra. So just look out for an email or a phone call from either one of those.
Okay.
Then wanted to kind of just set expectations in terms of the inspection, right? So we have all the pictures that we needed. Like I mentioned the other day, I did have somebody go out and kind of just snap some pictures of the exterior. So now that I have those along with the pictures that you provided me of the interior, I think that we do have enough pictures to be able to toss it around to some people and right, because we typically buy in Houston, so this is going to be a project for us, so we're going to have to kind of recruit some new people in the area, which we shouldn't have a problem doing. But I think that the pictures should suffice in order to do that. But there, we would like that one day just to kind of complete the due diligence, so that the people who need to kind of walk the property can submit the bids to us, so that we know what we're working with in terms of numbers moving forward. And what I'd like to do is kind of just uh, tentatively set a date like closer to the end of the inspection period. That way it'll give me enough time to reach out to enough people, and it's far enough in advance where everybody's schedule isn't going to be jam packed. So I'm thinking, obviously not this weekend, but possibly next weekend, so that everybody can, and I say everybody, but it's probably just going to be a handful of people get out there all at the same time,
like I've been saying, shouldn't take any longer than an hour. And it being kind of the last few days of the inspection period, after we receive the bids from these people, I'll be able to reach back out to you, give you the green light, thumbs up, all right, we're good to go. And then, however you want to communicate with your tenant in order to serve them that notice to vacate, you can go ahead and do that, and then let them know at that time as well, like we've been talking about. You're more than willing to, or if you'd like to provide them with my contact information and let them know that I can be in contact with them, and I'd love to just keep them as part of the conversation and lend a helping hand to them as any way that I can, whether it be reaching out to a realtor to help them find a new place or anything of that sort.
Right, right. Yeah, it's kind of a small community. I'm sure they've lived there for I think all their lives practically.
Mm,
They probably know everybody.
okay.
Not more than I do.
Okay. Okay.
But anyway, but yeah, we'll definitely try to include you to make sure that you are there to help them
Yeah.
if they need it.
Exactly. I mean, by all means, if they feel that they can get it done without me, I don't want to, I don't want to have to delay their process by me getting involved. But if they feel that I can, offer some assistance, then I'd love to be there to help.
Well, before this inspection, are you going to get like a tentative okay from your lending institution?
Yeah. So I mean,
Get like a
go on.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I'd like to do too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've opened the conversation with them. Now that you mentioned it, I did obtain a proof of funds in order to send over to you, and I can go ahead and do that if you'd like. And then once they get those, the people walk the property, we get the bids and really get the hard numbers on what it is that we're looking at, then they'll be in contact with Martha over at the title company to be able to fund the deal. So yeah, I've definitely opened that conversation with them, and it's something that they're interested in. So now it's just a matter of confirming the numbers.
What do you use if you don't mind? Is that a top secret? I mean, you use a bank of some type?
No, so the people who I've opened the conversation with, they're called Plan D Investments. It's a team of investors that I
Oh,
linked up with a while back.
oh, okay. No, that's fine. I don't need to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know, I just know that prosperity seem like they're really easy to work with.
You said Prosperity?
Prosperity Bank, yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Anyway, but that's your business. I mean, I would do if you said prosperity, I would have thought, well, man, because another guy, he's down and went right on through, so they didn't even blink an eye.
Right, right.
So,
Yeah, and I really don't foresee it being an issue at all.
yeah. Okay, okay. And now, how many people are going to be on this walkthrough deal?
I
Any idea?
I don't at this moment, but I can definitely let you know. A hard number once it comes to it. And again, I'm going to keep you involved as well, obviously, at every step of the way. I'm not going to ever send anybody out there without letting you know. And I can definitely give you a hard head count once we're closer to that date.
Okay, and you want to do it on the weekend or on the week?
I mean, it really depends. Do you think that one or the other would work better for the tenant?
Well, I would say during the week would be better.
Okay. Yeah, I just, like I said, I wanted to give myself enough time to reach out to people in the area and make sure that their schedule was open. So why don't we let me pull up my calendar. One second. This is obviously subject to change, but why don't we just do it a week from or why don't we do early 2 weeks from today? So today's the 14th. Why don't we kind of plan for like the 24th or the 25th, being the Monday or Tuesday?
Okay.
All right. Kind of mark that down. And again, I'll be sure to round back with you. I'll be rounding back with you every 3 to 5 days, even if there isn't an update. Whether it's just me sending you a quick text to let you know what's going on our end, so you know that I haven't ran off on you.
Yeah, that's fine. That's great.
All right, perfect. Any questions or anything that you wanted to bring up?
I can't think. I just kind of wondering how many people you thought would be going through there.
Yeah, and I mean, quite honestly, it may not be anybody. I want to at least set that expectation. The pictures may even suffice, right? So I just
Oh,
I just want to throw it out there in case somebody looks at the pictures and then they say, you know what, I'd really like to take a look at the plumbing just to get you an accurate number. That's why I just wanted to at least set that expectation that it's going to be a handful of people.
yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good, then.
All right, I appreciate you, and I'll be talking to you soon. Okay.
Okay. Very good.
All right. Bye now.
Good weekend.
You too.
Okay. Bye now.
Hung up on his ass. So that's that. Boom. Stefan, yes, sir. The hardest part is done. Now here comes the easy part. Congrats. Yeah, thank you. For real. Honestly, that conversation right there was probably the last hard part. Now, I've negotiated, I've got the contract, and I've set expectations. So now nothing is going to come up in the time between the contract getting signed and it getting sold. No, there shouldn't be. I feel like I've covered everything. There shouldn't be anything in between that is going to catch him off guard, other than me calling him asking for a price reduction because he lied about the number of bedrooms. But he doesn't. We don't have to get into that right now. He's had his guard up this whole time. The fact that I've been able to lower it enough for him to feel comfortable moving forward. I don't want to push it, right? I don't want to poke a sleeping bear. Nice, says Ian. Thank you, bro. Stefan, what are the numbers like? So I've been saying this when I initially ran comps, and this is how I'm going to propose it to buyers. When I initially ran comps, it was looking like a home run. Have it locked up at 200. I have comparables. I'm gonna pull these up so I can so that I can explain to you why I think they're comparables, so that I'm not just throwing these numbers out of nowhere. I have a few in the area. It's a very small town. Kind of like he was saying, they've lived there. They've lived there their whole lives, and they probably know everybody and know a place to move to already. So this place hard because again, I'm in Texas, a non-disclosure state. So what I've been doing is I can see what it was last listed at on Redfin, and then I can pull it up on PropStream, and I can see the last estimated sale. Oh my gosh. So this one was estimated to sell at 472. I don't think that's accurate. The estimated value is 383. It was listed at 420. With an estimated mortgage balance of 376. So let's just say it sold for 4, and I think that's being conservative. So this one sold for 400. This one is compared to our property. Let me get our property pulled up. This one is about 90 to 100 square feet bigger. One less bath if if it does only have 3 bedrooms, but if it has 4, like the seller's talking about, it has 2 less baths than our property. It is where's year built on this? I think ours was built in 42. So ours is 12 years newer build, and their lot is like an extra 2,000 square feet, I think. Or no, it's just like an extra 1,500 square feet, 1,600 square feet. So again, that one sold for 400 plus. The Redfin estimate on this comp here is 438, 439 ish. And just as a reminder, our contract price is 200. Another comp here. And I mentioned that, I wanted to mention that it's a really small town because essentially any property in this area is a comp. You could probably drive end to end in this little town in 5 minutes max. Very small town. I grabbed the wrong one.
Next one listed at 403. Let's see what PropStream says about this one. Estimated value 402. So let's just say that one. Okay, MLS. This one does have MLS details. It says current listing price 402, and it was pulled off the market at 402. Let's just say it sold for 400 again. So another one that sold for 400. This one has either one or two less bedrooms, about 200 plus less square feet than ours. 5-year older build with around the same lot size. Again, this one sold for 400. So I have a few comps that justify it selling at 400, maybe a little less, right? And these ones sold recently, a month ago, 3 months ago. So maybe about 400. That's how I initially calculated the ARV on that. Then I started getting a little bit more, as the days went on. Well, here's another one. Let's check out this one. As the days went on, I was kind of tapping back into the market, and there are others that go for a little less. And I want to, mind you, actually, so I'm taking it at a discount a little bit because ours sits right across the street from a school. Ours doesn't have a garage, whereas some of these have either a one-car garage or a carport. But I think that that's really it compared to the other properties in terms of discrepancies or differences. So with those two things, you may want to take like a 20-30,000 discount, right? So call our ARV 370 as opposed to 400. Maybe even much higher because again, these properties have a couple less bedrooms, and then like this other one is 200 square feet less. They're older builds, so depending on how you look at it. See, and then here's this other one though that sold 200 extra square feet, one less bed but a half extra bath. Sold 5 months ago. 5-year newer build, same lot size. That one was listed at 332, but let me pull this one up on PropStream because I think the estimated sale on this was much higher. So estimated sale was actually 400 on this, and that makes sense. That makes sense with my numbers. 5 months ago, outstanding mortgage balance is 317, so they at least paid 317. Right now, it's just a matter of how much they put down. It was a finance purchase method, so I'd imagine that maybe they put down 20%, which is 80,000 off of 400, which drops their estimated mortgage balance down to 320, and that makes sense. So they owe 317 left because they bought it 5 months ago and have been paying off their mortgage. So these three comps right here, I think, sit right around 400. And then again, with the discrepancies and the differences, I would say our ARV is probably closer to like 360, 370, very conservatively. Wow. So what are you looking to make off the assignment fee, or are you going to double close it? I've been exploring all of those options. I got the proof of funds from a website that I was actually going to use for transactional funding in order to double close it. It would have been the first time that I explored that option. And I might, but I am, I'm not going to mess around with this one because this guy knows what he's doing. I don't want to play him. I don't want to do anything like that. So I just went straight to my last buyer who I knew buys all over Texas. And he's interested. He says he has a bunch of buyers out that way. So I'm going to send it to him. And if he can find a buyer that's like willing to lock it up ASAP, then we're going to do that. You know what I mean? And I'm going to split it with him. I'm not going to trip about the numbers. So it'll be a hefty assignment fee regardless if the buyers see these numbers the way that I see them. But again, there's other properties out here that, like, I'll pull up Redfin and just kind of search the zip code real quick. Some of these other properties just recently listed like for sale as is, for like way less than that. So that has me a little nervous. So like, let me see. What the hell is going on? So right now in this area, there are properties on sale for 430, 340. I don't know what's going on with that one. It may be selling as is. No, that's a flip. I wonder why that one's so heavily discounted. So that again, like seeing properties like this makes you a little. It's in like kind of a weird area of the market, though. I don't know if that maybe has something to do with it. I don't know why it would discount it so significantly. This is also a historic community, so I don't know if there's like going to be restrictions on, uh, what can be done to the property in terms of renovation. But here's another one sold on sale for 430. This one is about 300 square feet bigger though, possibly one less bath. There's another one 430, bath and a half extra, and it's much bigger in terms of square feet. So these ones are kind of like making me a little concerned, but I don't know. These are on sale, not sold. Let me go back to sold in the last year. These ones sold. Oh, let me add a little bit more filter criteria. No newer than, let's say, 1960. Ours is built in 1942. Gives us 14 homes. I'm gonna put a square feet max at like 1,800. Ours is right over 1,550. So here's one that sold right down the street from us, 265. This one's much smaller than ours, about 400 square feet smaller, and one less bed, and possibly two less baths. Or sorry, one less bath, possibly two less beds, maybe just one less bed though. And that one's listed at 265. I can't tell if that one was sold as is or not. Another one right down the street sold for 403. That's one of the comps that I was looking at. Another one sold for 333. That's one of the comps I was looking at. And then this one sold for 185, or listed at 185, but that one's really small. I didn't put a minimum on the square feet filter, so I think there's a spread on here regardless. Uh, Let the buyers do the comps be on. Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna put these numbers out there like that. I'm going to put those numbers out there for my JV partner, who I'm likely going to JV on this. Um, but yeah, definitely not. Never telling the buyers how much the place is going to need in repair costs. Never telling them, you know, comps and stuff, unless they're overly confused, and like, because it won't do me any harm to point to those comps for 400,000. That's only going to benefit me. Um, So in this case, I actually might, Jared. In this case, I actually might. Like, if they try to come back and argue, like, well, look at this comp, look at this comp, I can say, like, well, look at these comps. What are you talking about? This is how I'm seeing it. Congratulations, bro. On my way home from work, watching you on the train. What is current condition? Is it cosmetic or medium work? You got this. Looking like average rehab, probably. Roof is about 8 years old. AC less than 5. No foundation, electrical, or plumbing issues to his knowledge, but the interior is really dated, and the outside could definitely use like paint job, landscaping. So maybe like a little bit more than average if you really wanted to go in there and make it super nice. But the place is also just barely over 1,500 square feet. So it's not this huge place where a paint job is going to take, a crazy amount of money. It's just kind of a smaller little place where a lot of stuff can be updated. So what I'm going to do now is send over the email to this guy. I like to create a little, create an email folder for the deals once I get them under contract, so that I can just track everything, all of the documentation, all of the emails that go back and forth between me and the seller, me and the JV partner, me and the buyer, me and title company, specifically the title company. That's where the most emails come from, I've found. So I just like to create a little folder within my email inbox so that I can house all of my conversations in there, and quickly find a conversation that I need to refer to. So I'm going to do that right now. I will label this one the address, as I do best label under did I have this under? Signed agreements, right? Properties under contract. There we go. So I have another one where it's like properties under contract, then I have another one where it's closed deals. So I still have all my email threads from my 2 deals that I've done so far. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this one with the agreement and move it over there. Delete these ones that show me that they just looked at it and then they signed it. I don't think, no, I don't really need that. I have the PDF attached to the other email. So boom. Then I'm going to send, I'm going to just, 24th or the 25th is what I want to take note of that conversation that I just had with him. Very easy to forget these little things, but connected. Well, first, seller signed the agreement. Save that note. Derek connected with seller. Set expectation of possible walkthrough on the 24th or 25th. Seller wants a heads up regarding how many people plan to walk the property. People want to walk. How many people plan to walk the property? Sets expectations of him submitting it to title and having them reach out to the seller early next week. Discussed Eric possibly helping the tenant after he serves them the notice to vacate. Seller mentioned that they are very familiar with the area as they've lived there their whole lives. So help might not even be needed. Ideal. Got this. True. You're right about that. Appreciate you guys being in here, sharing this experience with me. This is why I made this channel. Quite honestly, this is exactly, I know I've mentioned this before, but this channel was never intended to be educational. Like, this is how you do it, because I don't know how to do it. I'm still figuring it out as I go. I hope that you guys realize and understand that, and watching me make the calls and stumbling through my words and stuttering and I hear myself do that on the phone, so it's not like I think that I'm the master closer on the phone. But I also do know that if you've never done a deal, or you're looking to just see somebody else do it, I know that there's value in that. So, and I think that there's honestly value in seeing somebody like me who doesn't come across as somebody, as I know what I'm doing, you got to do it like this. I think there's benefit in watching somebody like me who doesn't really know what he's doing go through it the way that I'm doing it, because you can learn from my mistakes. So again, that's what this channel was always intended to be, was watch me figure it out. Right. And that's what it initially was right in the beginning. And I'm so glad that I started the channel when I started the channel, because very shortly after I got my first contract. So I'm so grateful that I was able to document my entire first wholesale deal. If you didn't, weren't a subscriber at that point in time, you can always refer back. I have a playlist set up titled My First Wholesale Deal. You can literally watch me go beginning to end, lock the contract up with the seller, talk with the title company, talk with the buyers, talk with my JV partner, talk with the tenant. The tenant was a big one on my first deal. I did cash for keys. I hired movers for her. I paid for a storage unit for her. So there was a lot packed into that first deal. And again, I'm very grateful that I started the channel when I did, because I was able to document all that. And then I did the same for my second deal. I did not create a playlist for that deal. It's kind of just sprinkled into like my lead follow-up calls, or
certain videos that didn't get added to any playlist. But I did just start a new playlist for this deal. um, for my third wholesale deal is the title of this playlist. So I'm going to, anytime I hop on the phone with the seller, title company, JV partner, buyers, anything like that, I'm gonna try my best to hop on here and document it, and then add it to that playlist for future reference. If you ever want to, turn back to it and see the journey and see the process and progress. I'm hoping that I'm able to capture enough content in here where you can see the whole thing unfold. So wanted to just take note of what I wanted to do now. I want to, one, send email to possible JV partner, two, open escrow with title, three, I'm going to build like a property profile with all details, info, pics. Just kind of make it nice and neat. That's what I've done for my last deals. When I say property profile, I'd imagine you guys know what I'm talking about. It's just kind of compiling all the pictures, not necessarily creating like a listing for it, but kind of, right? Kind of talking up the neighborhood, letting everybody know the details, how many beds, how many baths, what year it was built, um, you know, any perks of the property, anything like that, right? And then that way I can start blasting it when it comes time to it. And I want to try to start blasting it either tomorrow or sometime this weekend. I think that's the best way to do it, and then possibly blast it again. But the way that my possible JV partner is talking is he already has people out there, so it may be something. Keep your fingers crossed. I'm gonna manifest it that he's going to send this out to a group of people that he knows buys in the area, and they're willing to lock it up sight unseen because of the fact that it's such a good spread. So such a good spread. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Send email, open escrow, build a property profile with all the pictures, the details, and the information that I have. And then I felt like I wanted to do one other thing. Um, no, I don't know. I think that's it. What's going on, everybody? 9 people in here. I think that's the most people I've had in here. Now 8, but it's all good. If you're in here and you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. We're on our way to 100 subscribers. I have all the confidence in the world that we'll be able to get there by the end of the month for sure. Averaging around 1 to 2 subscribers every day now, which is incredible. I mean, I'm gonna, I'm not gonna go on a rant again, but again, this was when I created this channel. Never thought that I'd even get anybody. For like the first 2 to 3 weeks, I was in here just talking to myself, and never thought that anybody would actually even start tapping into the content. So love all you guys, especially the loyal supporters in here. Stefan, Jared, Dogs, everybody in here. Ian, Jarvis, I believe you guys are newer subscribers. Love the fact that you guys are hopping in here and engaging with us. Thank you so much for tapping into the content. Peter, you have a special place in my heart. You know that. So love all you guys. Appreciate all you guys. Think that I'm going to, well, yeah, I think for the sake of keeping the videos organized, that I'm going to hop off. I'm going to do these things on my list real quick, and then probably hop back on to the dialer. This is something that I'm going to be sure. 10 people in here. My goodness, you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to be sure that this does not take away from my lead generation. I am a one-man show. I do everything, all aspects. You fam, what's going on, Dario? First one in just 2 weeks of the year. Let's get it. Absolutely. Absolutely. That was, I went into the new year. Man, you kind of opened my eyes to that, Dario. I'm not even going to lie. Over the past week, I was kind of stressing. I told myself at the end of last year, like, I'm going to hit January hard. The way that I was talking to myself and the way that I was convincing myself of what was getting ready to happen and manifesting it, I was truly under the assumption that I was going to get a deal locked up in the first couple days of January. And then when that didn't happen, I can't lie, I got a little discouraged. And I felt like, man, maybe January just isn't my month. But I'm going to, keep the momentum going. And then February will definitely be my month. But telling yourself that, telling, I'm not gonna say anything other than to each his own. This is my own personal experience, but telling myself that it was a little discouraging, like to kind of just chalk January up as a loss. So now that this has been put in place, I got this agreement signed. Um, it's definitely sparked a fire here for me, and definitely giving me all the motivation in the world to keep pushing. It's a reminder that it's you're not going to call somebody on the initial cold call and get the deal locked up. Although that's how my first two deals happened, I knew that it was rare. I knew that that was not the norm. So this serves as a perfect reminder that you may generate a lead, and you may not get that agreement until 4, 5, 6, 2 years later. And to set yourself up for the long haul. This is not a get rich quick scheme by any bit stretch of the imagination. It's a business. It's you got to build the business from ground up, and it's going to take momentum in order to get it to where you want it to go. So you're just started, bro. I feel that though. It happens to most of us. Keep grinding for real. I appreciate you, Dario. Really do. Really do. um so yeah, I was gonna hop off right now, handle these things on my little to-do list. And what I was gonna stress and what I really want to focus on and make sure is not to take not to put too much attention and energy into this. It's just another part of the process. Now I got to get back on the dialer, generate some more leads, follow up with all my leads that I've already generated, and then allocate a certain amount of time every day to push this one to the finish line. You know, I know that even then, even me saying this, I know that I'm going to spend an unnecessary and probably more time than I should on this one in order to get it to the finish line, but that's okay with me. Um, I just want to make sure that I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket, is all. And know that if this doesn't work out, then I have plenty of other opportunity in the pipeline. So, gonna do this, handle my little quick to-do list here. Shouldn't take me any longer than 15, 20 minutes. And then I'm going to hop back on, and probably it's just about noon. I'm either gonna do some cold calling or some lead follow-up. Um, likely likely going to do some lead follow up just so that I can kind of keep this high, and hopefully be able to connect with somebody and have a good conversation with somebody who I've already warmed up a little bit, as opposed to somebody who I've never talked to before. So Brent says best time to blast it out is Monday because on weekends buyers are doing stuff. That's what I was thinking. That's why I don't know if you heard me. I was like, so yeah, I might just do that. I'm hoping that my potential JV partner right here is able to connect with somebody, either today or over the weekend, and that'll let me know how I want to approach it on Monday. I think you're right, Jared. Monday is probably best bet. I'm just hoping that something happens over the weekend so that I can know how to approach the dispo side of things here. So again, appreciate you guys. I know I sound like a broken record, but if you haven't already, please do hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Appreciate all you guys. Love all you guys. We're on a fast track to 100 subscribers here. Shoot, we might get it within the week, to be honest. Just a couple more. I think I'm at 95 or 96. So do me a favor, share the content with anybody who you think might benefit from it. I'd love to get some familiar faces and friends in here so that we can start building out this community. And then in regards to the community as well, check out the links in the description. Just created a Discord group for all of us to stay connected when I'm not live streaming. Very bare bones, so don't judge me when you get in there. We have a handful of people in there already, but I'd love for you guys to get in there and start giving me some feedback as to the type of content or resources that you'd like for me to throw into that Discord group. Whether it be scripts or rebuttals to objections, or I thought maybe even throwing in some recorded phone calls in there for you guys would be beneficial as well. So would love to connect with you guys there. That's going to be the easiest way to connect with me when I'm not live streaming. That Discord group, as well as my Instagram. The link is in the description for that as well. You can shoot me a DM. I've had a number of people slide into my DMs that I'm kind of going back and forth with. And I think that's only. Oh, and the other link in the description is batch skip tracing. If you don't already, skip trace with another provider, it is an affiliate link in there, so I will get kicked back a little bit once you do sign up with that link for free and then skip trace in the future. I'm not cool enough to have a promo code yet. So one day though, one day I'm gonna get that promo code for you guys so you can start taking a little bit of a discount on those skip tracing on that skip tracing. But for now, it's free to sign up regardless of if you use that link or not. But just know that if you do use that link in the description and end up skip tracing with Batch, I will get a little kickback. So I'd appreciate it if you did. If you don't want to support, by all means, not forcing anybody. So um, cold calling later and or tomorrow, either cold calling or leave follow up, Jared. Either one. Bro, I love when these sellers tell me, "Well, you couldn't afford my property," and I pop on Zillow, that thing barely worth 250. They on me today. They're always gonna be on you, Dario. They're not gonna let up. So you can't let up either. You know what I mean? I tell myself that every morning. Keep foot on the gas. I don't really get too personal on here. Sometimes I do, but I think I just the thought came to my mind. Every day I wake up, I thank God immediately. I don't know if you guys are religious, but I'm telling you, I swear, before I even open my eyelids, I'm talking to God. I'm thanking Him for the ability to get up out of bed, walk around, breathe this air, eat the food that I'm eating. Again, I don't know if you guys are religious, and I'm not trying to preach to you guys, but just to put it into perspective, I wake up every morning and I thank God. First thing before I even get out of bed, I'm laying in bed and I'm thanking God. And then I read a quote the other day. Um, it was actually, I say I read a quote, but it was a fortune cookie. Pulled it out of a fortune cookie from Panda Express. And it said, the greatest, God, now I don't even remember it. I wrote it down in my notes. It says, life's greatest privilege is being able to help someone in need. And I read that and it resonated, not only with just the fact that it's the truth, but with what we're doing here in wholesaling. You got to remember that it's not about the money. It's about helping this guy sell his property. It's about helping the tenants transition smoothly and getting a huge number of people paid, more than you could even know, when turning this property over to the end buyer. You're benefiting so many people in the community by doing that. And it is truly life's greatest privilege, being able to help someone in need. I was walking through the grocery store, little tangent, walked through the grocery store the other day. Um, and this woman, she had her head down, an elderly woman, had her head down, and she was kind of in the middle of the aisle. So I just, excuse me, and I scooted by her, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," right? And I was like, "Yeah, no problem, don't worry about it." And then she was looking, and then uh, I was, kind of in a rush, and I'm gonna be honest, I regret not helping her, but I got to the end of the aisle and I heard some other woman starting to help her. And it was honestly really cool to even witness it. The woman was like, "Can I help you? Like with anything?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm looking for something and I can't find it. I've been looking forever." And she was like, "Stay right here. I'll be right back." And I watched the woman go up to the front, ask the people at the front where this item is. She told her the aisle, went back to her. She says, "It's in aisle 9. You want me to walk over there with you?" And it was like heartwarming, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you don't see that type shit all the time. And it was like I immediately regret not helping her when I kind of said excuse me to get out of the way, but like I was able to at least get out of there knowing that somebody helped her, and it was awesome to watch that. Because again, I mean, in today's day and age, especially, you don't see that type of stuff. And it truly is. That woman walked out of there, I'm sure, with her head held high, and karma is going to be on her side. Bro, I'm telling you, something great is coming her way. If that's how she treats everybody, I'm sure that she's already sitting pretty in her lifestyle. So, anyways, that's the second thing that I do. I read that quote. I remind myself why I do what I do every day, whether it be real estate or not. Um, yeah, and then I get up with the momentum that I need. So absolutely, fam, got to give praise every day. Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I don't know if you guys are religious, and I've never been the type of person to preach or try to, try to convert people to religious beliefs. But I'm just speaking from my personal experience and what I do personally. That's what I do. That's what I do. I wake up every day and I'm talking to God, uh, thanking Him, because you know I've seen the other side of it. I said what I said earlier, and immediately a buddy of mine came to mind. He's wheelchair bound for the rest of his life. He's never gonna walk again. And you don't think about that type of stuff until you know somebody in that situation, and he has moments of severe depression where he falls into it, and he's like he understands and he realizes I'm never going to get out of this chair, bro. So I don't say that to like scare anybody or anything like that, but just know that if you wake up every day and you walk around, just walking alone is a blessing. Breathing air is a blessing. Being able to go and buy food whenever you want is a blessing, and it's nothing to be taken for granted. So, um, again, I'm not preaching. That's just me. That's me. I don't take anything for granted. So I hope that you don't, but if you do, whatever. To each his own. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I'll end it right there before I start, you know, grabbing my robe out of the closet and going full deacon on you guys. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Till then, peace.